Now we're going to take a look at groups. Now groups are very interesting and useful in a mix context. So for example, these 3 tracks here are my drums. So I'm going to highlight the nameplate of the bass drum, hold down shift and highlight the nameplate of snare and the overheads as well. So I've got those 3, it's actually 4 channels because the overheads is stereo. I've got those now highlighted. I'm going to turn them into a group. Now to turn them into a group, all I need to do is hit Command G, G for group, but I'll just show you the group menu. We open up this little chevron down here, you'll see we have the groups menu. So if I have these highlighted, we just go to the drop down menu and select new group, Command G, you see. And that creates this new group, and you see the things that are in it are the ones that I highlighted. Now I'm going to call this drums for obvious reasons, and where the ID is, I'm actually going to not leave it, it will automatically default to the next letter of the alphabet, but I'm actually going to go D for drums. Okay, so name drums, ID D, and then click on OK. And now nothing much seems to have changed except for the fact you now see that in this group indicator tab we've now got D drums. But watch what happens when I click on one fader and move it. All 3 of them move because they are grouped together. Similarly, if I hit the mute button, all 3 mute. If I hit solo, all 3 solo. The pan control, however, is separate. You kind of don't want your pan controls mixed, otherwise everything would pan one direction or the other. There may be instances that you do want to do that, but certainly this isn't one of them. Now, if I hit play, I can turn up or down the drums, remove them entirely from the mix. Okay. So the drums there, now you might think, oh wait a minute, the snare's too loud or something like that. We can suspend the group. We would just click in the group menu, just click on that there. When it's not grey, that means it's suspended, so that means we can individually adjust something within the mix like that, just tweak those around, and then we can turn the group back on again, and then everything's grouped back together again. Simple and quite intuitive. Now I'll just do another one just to consolidate the technique. So we'll do that with the guitars. There's 5 guitar tracks here. Acoustic guitar 1, left, hold down shift and click on the nameplate of the other. E guitar, OD guitar and lead guitar. Turn them into a group. Command G, like that. Here's my new group, call it guitars. Surprisingly, maybe go to the ID and call it group G. Okay, and then click on OK, and now we have a group for all the guitars. And you certainly don't want those pans linked, so just double check that they're not. If you do want the pans linked, by the way, we can click on the group and select modify. Okay, and if you wish the pans to be linked, go to globals and select pan in that little box there. Now when we come out of here, you'll notice that all of those pan controls are linked. Looks like a little funky little sort of wave going on there. Okay, so that's groups, very useful in the mix process. However, there's a submixing technique that I'm going to show you that's also very, very useful.